What's up, guys? It's again your host, Johnny Highlander, and today I'm just going to drop you your weekly wrestling recap, and we're just going to cover top 10 wrestlers who use their real name as their wrestling name. Now, I'm sure you guys are all aware that there are many, many, many wrestlers that use a fake name in their role as a wrestler in wrestling action. And I'm not just talking about people like people like Edge or Goldust, who just use a name like that. I'm talking about like Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose, who just make up a completely new name for their wrestling career. So today, where I'm just going to run down top 10 wrestlers who use their real name as their wrestling name. So we'll just get started. And at number 10, we have Chris Benoit. Now, Chris Benoit sadly has been pretty much scrubbed from the WWE website and from WWE history, and I suppose it was the right choice on WWE's part. I guess who am I to say? And the reason I say it was sad is just because of what happened to Chris Benoit and his family. So, number 10, Chris Benoit. At number 9, we have Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley not only had a successful career in wrestling, but he was also able to have a successful career in MMA. And there are not many wrestlers who are able to have both a successful career in wrestling and in MMA, but there's definitely one more who you will see show up later in this list. At number 8, we have Matt Hardy. And there was a trinity of amazing tag teams that brought a renaissance of tag team wrestling during the later period of the Attitude Era. And that trinity of tag teams was Edge and Christian, the Dudley Boys, and the Hardy Boys. But out of those three teams, only one of those teams used their actual names as their wrestling names, and that was the Hardy Boys. So, number 8 on this list, we have Matt Hardy. Number 7 on this list, we have a third generation wrestler, which is Randy Orton. Because Cowboy Bob Orton was his father, the name Orton was so well recognized that Randy Orton didn't have to come up with a new name and was able to just use his actual name. His finisher, actually, which is quite popular among the fans, is just his initials, Randall Keith Orton, which he has definitely turned into a meme. So, number 7 on this list, we have Randy Orton. Number 6 on this list, rating just a little bit higher because he's had just a little bit more success, is Jeff Hardy. Little known fact, Jeff Hardy is my favorite wrestler of all time. And Jeff Hardy was able to become a 3-time WWE champion. Whereas Matt Hardy was never able to win the WWE Championship. Fortunately for Matt, he was able to win the TNA Championship, and I have been an outspoken advocate for Matt Hardy to get a shot at the Universal Championship or the WWE Championship for some time. But since Matt Hardy is now seemingly retired from wrestling in general, it doesn't seem like it's going to happen. So, it's sad for Matt Hardy, but I guess it's time for someone else to get a push into the main event scene. I vote for Bo Dallas because Bo Dallas is a great wrestler and he could really succeed as a babyface if WWE built him up in the right way. But that's a story for another day. So, number 5 on this list of top 10 wrestlers who use their real name as their wrestling name, Kurt Angle. Now, since Kurt Angle was a amazing amateur wrestler, such an amazing amateur wrestler that he was able to win a gold medal in wrestling at the Olympics, Kurt Angle's name had enough notoriety that he was able to use it as his wrestling name. He didn't have to come up with some fake name. He was able to retain his actual name. And the fact is, man, Kurt Angle is a wrestling machine. After his original run in WWE, which was met with much success, he was able to win the WWE Championship. He had awesome feuds with the likes of Stone Cold Steve Austin and Brock Lesnar. And after his initial run there in the WWE, he was able to go over to TNA and have some great matches with the likes of AJ Styles and Samoa Joe, which I think, frankly, a lot of us were surprised he was able to have because his body seemed to be held together by a string because he had neck injuries, shoulder injuries, knee injuries. Yet Kurt Angle was able to work through all that and deliver some amazing matches. And he has, in fact, as of today or yesterday, as of yesterday, he just returned to the ring for active competition. So Kurt Angle's probably in his late 40s. Like I said, he's a wrestling machine, so nothing's going to hold him back. And he's going to be at this upcoming Saudi Arabia pay-per-view called Crown Jewel. He's going to be wrestling in the International Battle Royal. So look forward to that. Kurt Angle, the wrestling machine. Number 4 on this list of top 10 wrestlers who use their real name as their wrestling name, we have Brock Lesnar. Now, Brock Lesnar also was a very successful amateur wrestler, and upon his arrival in the WWE, he was given a massive push. People laid down for him left and right, including The Rock, Hulk Hogan, but one who wouldn't lay down for him was Stone Cold Steve Austin. But I totally understand where Stone Cold Steve Austin was coming from when he said that it didn't seem right for his character to get beat so quickly by this guy who had just showed up on the scene, despite the fact that Vince McMahon had such a high opinion of Brock Lesnar. But Brock Lesnar did have a great initial run, just like Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle and Brock Lesnar really complemented each other and helped each other to succeed during their initial run in the WWE. But then Brock Lesnar, I should say, went on to try to become an American football player for the Vikings. That unfortunately did not succeed, but he was able to go over to New Japan and win the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. And he was also able to have a successful career in the UFC and MMA, and he was able to win the UFC Heavyweight Championship. So Brock Lesnar has just, everywhere he's gone, he has met with success. And he recently ended a 500-plus day reign as Universal Champion, dropping the strap to Roman Reigns. But he will be having a rematch for his Universal Championship at this upcoming pay-per-view, Crown Jewel. Kind of an interesting thing that at this upcoming pay-per-view, Crown Jewel, will have Kurt Angle, Brock Lesnar, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, and Kane all participating. And guys, it's 2018. I just want you to know that. So, people wonder why the younger wrestlers can't get over. A, it's because the old guys keep coming back and stealing their spotlights. And B, it's because they can't do their own promos. So let's not ask ourselves too many questions when we know it's our own damn faults. Number 3, John Cena. John Cena, along with Brock Lesnar and Kurt Angle at the same time, just experienced a massive push after his initial debut. It took John Cena just a little bit longer to get the fans behind him, but once he did, we just literally had 15 years of John Cena at the top of the card. Kurt Angle and Brock Lesnar both leaving might have something to do with the fact that John Cena remained a fixture at the top of the card for as long as he did. But number 3 on this list of wrestlers who use their real names as their wrestling names, John Cena. Number 2 on this list of wrestlers who use their real name as the wrestling name, Eddie Guerrero. Now, I know Eddie Guerrero may be the number 1 wrestler in a lot of you guys' books, but for me here on this list, he's going to be number 2. Eddie Guerrero was a great wrestler. May he rest in peace. He was definitely taken from us too soon, and it's too bad. But it is great that he was able to win the WWE Championship from Brock Lesnar a few years before his death. and Eddie will forever live on in our memories as a fantastic wrestler and just a great character and person in general. So number 2 on this list, Eddie Guerrero. Number 1 on this list of wrestlers who have used their real name as their wrestling name, we have Bret Hart. Now, Bret Hart may not have been great on promos, he may not have been that great on a mic, but he was a fantastic wrestler, one of the greatest technical wrestlers of all time. Just like he always said, the best there was, the best there is, the best there ever will be. Of the members of the Hart Foundation, including Jim the Anvil Neidhart, Davey Boy Smith, the British Bulldog, and Bret Hart. Bret is the only remaining member of the Hart Foundation, and we should be thankful that we still have Bret Hart with us. And I hope that one day we can get another wrestler who is as good of a wrestler as Bret Hart, but I just don't see it as being that likely. So number 1 on this list of top 10 wrestlers who use their real name as their wrestling name, we have Bret Hart. That's all I got for you guys. This has been your weekly wrestling recap. I've been your host, Jonathan Highlander, and I will talk to you guys later.